All right, I have a question, and this one's for the boys. Ladies, feel free to hang out in the comments and get an education right alongside me. This is for the men who say, pick better, who tell us to pick better. How? How do we do that? When women speak on women's issues and femicide and domestic, there's always got to be at least one of you who's got to jump on in and say, well, you should have picked better, or you're the one who opened your legs. Granted, you got me. But to tell me to pick better instead of telling him to do better, it's confusing. It's confusing. How am I supposed to know the difference between good guys like you, of course, and the ones who are cheaters? The cheaters get backed up by their buddies and backed up by the legal system. So what's a girl to do? How are we supposed to know? All of you say, I'd never put hands on a woman, and we know that that's at least not true half the time, if not most of the time. So how are we supposed to tell? Mansplain it harder to me, Daddy.
DV among men is not even true half the time. So right there, we know that your logic is shot and you're not trying to use any common sense. At this point with your bad attitude, there's not going to be a whole lot that men can explain to you that you'll actually listen to, because modern women don't really want to know how to improve. They don't really want to know how to find better. They like what they like and they want what they want.
What man is going to look at that and say, you know what? I do need to pay her bills. Ladies, this is what you should ask yourself before you ask your man, that man, because he ain't yours yet. Ask yourself, what am I bringing to him to ease or make his life better? Mm-hmm. That's what value is. If you can't answer that question, you don't deserve anything yet. What has that man said in the way that you bring him value? If it's only, let me take you to dinner, let me take you to eat, let me do what? Why does he want to keep serving you if there's no service back? It is the law of reciprocity. What can you do to support that man? And that is the problem with these modern day women. It is all I, me, take. You got to be careful who you give to, because takers don't know when to stop.
Okay.
I am tired. These people they're ruining this generation. It's literally ruining the generation. Mm-hmm. And then little girls are glamorizing and fetishizing.
I mean, they got Sexy Red as a role model, girl.
Exactly. These modern women be looking up to these artists, I guess you can call them, as role models, but then want to try to tell a man what a real man looks like.
Hi. So I'm officially 36. And I'm single against my will. So, hello. I didn't think I'd be here again, but here we are. So, I just want to say I really appreciate the really, really kind comments and DMs about the situation. It means a lot. I've really just been taking it an hour at a time at this point. He wished me happy birthday on my birthday. We went back and forth a couple of times. I said, I'd love, thanks for the birthday wishes. I'd love to see you when you're back, because that's the truth. Like, my feelings didn't just shut off. I'm someone who, I want to have a face-to-face conversation. That's just it. So I said, I'd love to see you when you're back. Asked if he wanted to go for a walk this weekend, which we would normally do with Harry anyway, and nothing. So I'm just, I'm just processing. It's shocking. It's very out of character for this person. I don't hate them, because I think he's wonderful, and I think whatever he's going through, it makes me sad that I can't be there for him, or we can't talk through it, but this is just what's in front of me. So I just have to work through the emotions. So it's been a lot of crying, a lot of writing, a lot of this sort of thing. It's very cathartic to do this. And, I'm just sorry that so many people could relate to this, because it's just, you have to communicate. You have to communicate. I mean, conflict is inevitable. I mean, I'm not talking about toxicity and situations. That's not okay. But conflict is normal and healthy. And it's just sort of a function of taking two people who have two totally different upbringings and experiences and everything. You put them together, there's going to be conflict. To think that there's not is just, I don't know, delusional. And maybe that's the solution. I don't know. But conflict is inevitable. You have to be able to communicate. It's really unfortunate and disappointing that this person just refuses to do so. And I just have to take that and move forward. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to stay busy, exercise, spend time with friends, cry when I want to cry. Harry's been wonderful. He's my little angel. I'm going to New York this weekend. I'm going to the Toast live show. I'm very excited. I'm staying in my old neighborhood. It's my happy place, and I just can't wait to just walk around, eat good food, have a little bit of just change of scenery and some solitude will be really nice. Here, I feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. Like, I don't know if I'm going to run into him. So it'll be nice to just have a couple days to myself. So I'm really excited about that. But anyway, I wish I had like a better update, but I don't. And we'll just have to, I'm navigating this the best I can. So yeah. But thanks to everyone for like being so kind and in the comments and everything.
So I think there's something that might have happened there for him to be done with the situation. She's talking about that's the reality of it. There's conflict in a relationship, yada, yada, yada. So if he's wishing you happy birthday, then he's not completely done with you, in my opinion. It's just that maybe there's some things that you decided to dig your heels in on, and he's not in alignment with that. Maybe you decided to go a different direction. He was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe it wasn't a big blow up. Like you were saying, this man is not, he doesn't put his hands on anybody. It's not like that. He doesn't use his voice or his tone to overpower people. The conflict just happened. That's what it sounds like. He sounds like a gentleman, based on what you said about the birthday thing. It sounds like somebody that is a really good guy. He's a really nice guy, and he wants the best for you. But I think modern women need to understand that men, they have to go a certain way. And it's nothing personal. It's just business. It's just business. They have to do it. And it can't follow you around. So I wonder if that's what it was. I can't follow you around. I know something that you want to do, but there's something that I have to do in my life as a man. Right. So, and if I didn't, then you wouldn't like me. Then you wouldn't admire me. So I can only assume or just kind of think about what it might have been. But to me, it sounds like he stood without a whole lot of information. It sounds like he stood his ground and said, nah, I ain't really rocking with that. And then that's where it stopped.
I'm actually fully sick of men in their mid-20s, late 20s, even early 30s messaging me, asking me to come round to your house. I don't know you, bro. Literally, if you just had said, hey, would you want to catch up for a drink? I'll most likely go home with you if the vibes are good, of course. You act like I'm asking you for a goose that shelled eggs. I'm really not. It's busy. Hey, would you like to go get a drink? But instead, in your head, it's like, hey, I know I'm a random stranger and you've just seen a photo of me. Want to come around? No, dude. No, I don't want to come around.
I mean, it isn't that easy. I understand your frustration, but men be asking modern women this all the time, and they be like, how dare you? I'm not a drink girl. You take me out on a proper date. Coffee, a walk. Never. I'm not doing that. So it is definitely not that easy.
I just saw a video, and I'm going to be really vague about it because I don't want to hurt the specific person's feelings, but I do want to make a bunch of people aware. Saw a video, a girl has been on several dates and keeps getting ghosted or left at the place that she's at, or just completely like they'll show up, she'll see them, and then they walk away. This girl is a big girl. It's just the truth. She's a very big girl. And the way she's going about the videos is that she's talking about these men not being good because she's dating in 2024 and 2024 dating is so, and she's being sarcastic and she's like, this is so much fun because like getting ghosted for a bunch of times in a row isn't ideal, and she's like blaming it on like 2024 dating, because that's all everyone's posting about is like how dating sucks in 2024. But a harsh like reality is that if you are searching for someone to love you while you are in a stage of your life where you don't feel much love for yourself, hence like taking care of yourself, losing weight, trying to be healthier, you are only going to be searching for people and finding people for the purpose of getting validation from them and trying to see that they love you so that you can love yourself. Like it gives, you're searching for that love through them. And that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. It's a lot of pressure to put on 2024 dating as a whole. The harsh reality is that if you don't start to do something to help yourself and make yourself feel proud of yourself, and even if it's just working towards it and dating while you work towards it, you won't be successful in finding someone who loves you for you, and you won't be loving them for them, because you'll be only loving them because the idea of someone loving you will give you a purpose. And that's just the truth. And I hope that nobody takes this video the wrong way. I'm sure some people will. But all in all, if I can help someone realize before it's too late, before you've hit a threshold or before you've started to hit menopause and it's way harder to lose weight, I hope that this reaches those people who are open-minded to the idea that, wow, like, I did need something to like wake me up and be like, oh, like I still have time. You still have time. And maybe once you get over that bridge of like starting to lose the weight or starting to be healthier, maybe you won't even need these guys. You won't even need the love of those guys, because the love that you're going to feel for yourself is going to be so nourishing and refreshing and so new to you that you're gonna be like, what the fuck was I living without for this long? But I love you guys. That's all.
No, I definitely get what you're saying, and that's I think that's 100% true. If that's what you're looking for, that's what you're going to find, right? Because I'm looking for somebody to validate me. Newsflash: there's a lot of dudes out there that are going to validate you. Are they good dudes? That's your business. That's your job. But most modern women don't do that. They only look for a man to validate them. And when a man validates him, oh, he's all of the things. No, he's not. You didn't do any vetting. You didn't do any due diligence or research. And just because you put some man in some Facebook group, are we dating the same guy, and he came back clean, does not mean that he's a good guy. That doesn't absolve you of the actual work of asking actual critical thinking questions and saying, okay, my best judgment, is this guy a good guy? Should we continue? Mama, daddy, grandma, grandpa, is this a good guy? Brother, sister, niece, nephew. Like, you're asking people who might have a good eye on if he's a good guy or not. And we're not talking about your, ooh, if you do this, red flag. Shut up. Actual people who know what the heck they're talking about.
Men to realize that it's an entirely different thing when women come on this app and vocalizes the experiences that other men have put them through. I just had a homeboy tell me that I'm part of the problem and I'm ignorant because I come on this app, and I made a video like men are selfish, men tend to be unempathetic. And don't get me wrong, I understand there are women.
The issue on this app is because some people think their feelings are more valid than others. And in this take of hers, I believe she is saying that since men have always oppressed women, that women's feelings should be taken into account more. I'm sorry, that's where your issue lies, because in reality, men in the past were not allowed to express themselves the way they are today. And even when men do express themselves, a lot of you don't want to hear them out because you're too worried about your own feelings. And now you have a tug of war of whose feelings are more valid, when in reality, both feelings of both genders are equally as important. Don't get me wrong, I still understand the fact that women in 2024 are still battling what they can or can't do with their body. I do believe if you ask the average person walk down the street, they're gonna say, I don't care. So then once again, we have that 1%, in America at least, that holds a lot of power, making decisions that is representing all men when all men don't even think the exact same way. And in reality, if you asked a man what a woman should do with their body, I believe most would say, let her do what she wants.
I mean, you could say that, but for modern women, that would mean that they would need to be accountable for something and that they couldn't blame other people for decisions that they make. That's just, in my opinion, the fact of the matter, right? It's always about modern women and how they can shift blame and project. Obviously, they don't see it that way, but that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly why men don't want to be bothered with this type of person, because every single thing that they do, even if it's nice, there's always going to be something that you didn't do right. You're going to find fault in every argument situation. It's always going to be your fault. You didn't do anything. And men would just rather stay out of that altogether, because you're always going to find something, some thought, some belief. Relationship could be going fantastic, but it's always going to be, oh, you didn't do this right, and he was toxic. And just like that young lady, she seemed pretty nice, but the man stopped talking to her. Go and get online and you're going to tell all your business. And he probably didn't want that, right? So it's always, what can I get? How can somebody stroke my ego? Even if you're humble or appear to be humble, even if you're not ranting and raving, it's still put the eyes on me in the most humblest way you can possibly do it. Put the eyes on me. Thanks for all of the validation and encouragement. Fantastic. Great. But sometimes, and at some point in time, you're going to have to be held accountable for what's going on out here and how you live your life, in my opinion.